Alright, what is up guys, it is Storm back here with another video, and in this one, I'm bringing you part 41 to the Golden Fox and Naruto story. But before we begin, if you like the content you're seeing, then be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I mean, they're all free, so why not? Why don't you also ring that bell icon so you never miss a video, just in case. You never know, right? If you want some dope channel merch, link to that will be down in the description below, or you can go to the store tab on the channel. If you're a fan of the anime ReZero or horror, then go check out my other channels, which will be linked down below as well. And also, if you just want to see more of me, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram, which will also be linked down below. But without further ado, why don't we just dive right on in. The stage was set for Naruto. All of his training with Heaven's Blade was geared towards this moment. There was no failing or no losing, only victory. He came too far to lose here. Aisu also came too far. He stood against the strongest of opponents, and yet here he stands before Shinobi. Not just any Shinobi, but one who happens to wield the sword of the heavens. It is this person who stands as an obstacle between him and his goal, between him and his dream. For him, the situation was the same. He could not lose. Winning was the only option. The story titled History was written and could not have two winners. History would only have one victor and one loser. Who that victor or loser would be was up to the two warriors that stood on center stage. The way the final chapter ended was solely on their shoulders. Tsunade took a step forward. This is it. End it once and for all, Naruto. Naruto will not lose. He'll be the one standing when it's over, Yumi said. Konohamaru nodded. Damn straight, Big Brother Naruto's gonna kick his ass. Shinji smiled. The kid's right. Naruto will not lose. Especially since he'll be the one guiding the hand of God. Man, I never thought I'd live to see someone use the Heaven's Blade to its full potential. This is truly a dream come true. Naruto is confident. He will win. I believe in him, Hinata stated. Gaara folded his arms. Naruto. When it's all or nothing, he always comes out on top. Right now, it is all or nothing. Senjuro, who is standing next to Sasuke. The final attack. This battle is coming to a close. Naruto. It's all on you. Big Brother Naruto, Hayami said, slightly worried about Naruto. Naruto will do it. The idiot doesn't know how to lose, Sasuke said to both Senjuro and Hayami. Jiraiya, who is part of the group holding up the barrier, turned to Naya. Like father, like son, eh? To a degree, but Minato is more of a genius type shinobi. Naruto isn't. It doesn't matter since his heart overshadows Minato's. Arrogance seems to be of the same level though, Naya pointed out. Too true. In any event, let's strengthen the barrier if we can. I don't think I can go any higher, and it seems neither can you. I know, but it's okay. We've reinforced it enough, but that should be okay. Naya knew that Jiraiya was right. That is true. Sapphire, are you okay over there? Don't worry about me, stay focused on the barrier, the Mist Ninja informed her mother. Kakashi was standing next to Rin and Guy. Let 3 words escape his lips. This is it. Everyone present turned their attention towards Naruto and Aisu. Aisu, who was surrounded by dark chakra and black flames, with chakra continuing to flare up as the ground beneath him started to give way to the pressure and intensity of the chakra. Naruto, who was enclosed in a golden aura. The pressure of the chakra was so intense that the same effect was occurring to the ground beneath them. Aisu flashed Naruto a smile. Only one of us will stand after this. I know. Shall we perform our final dance? Naruto asked. Yes. I think it's time to close the curtain on this show. Prepare yourself, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto gripped his sword tightly and waited for Aisu. The Raikage studied Naruto. It had to be perfect. His attack needed to be precise or it would all fail. He only had one shot to win this. One shot to take it all. Okay, wait, Aisu. Wait for the perfect moment. Analyze. Study. Watch. Wait. And now! Launching towards Naruto full force. Aisu was on the offensive. Naruto decided not to wait for Aisu. Instead, he decided to meet him halfway. The blue-eyed shinobi launched at Aisu. 2 warriors on course for what would end in a head-on collision, one by which only one would walk away from. One thing each other knew for certain. This attack would decide it all. Somewhere in Fire Country. Koen and his group stopped. Rado turned towards Konoha. Father, you have to win. Koen, who was still being supported by the group of shinobi, turned to look at Rado. We shouldn't keep stopping, Rado. We have to get back to Cloud. We should head back to Konoha. Leaving behind our leader is something we should not have. Our leader is the strongest in the village, and he made his decision. He chose to remain and fight even when our army was forced to retreat. Anything that happens is on him. You could head back if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. I know he's your father, but there's nothing you can do right now, even if you wanted to. Let's head home and worry about our next move while we heal, Koen suggested. Rado's fist clenched tight in his hands. Fine, let's head back to Cloud. The Cloud Shinobi took off towards their village. Rado had a bad feeling about everything that was going on. He would do what his sensei said and play the waiting game. Konoha. A group of Anbu landed next to the unconscious Sai. Who do you think did this to him? One responded. I don't know, but whoever did this had to be talented. He is or was a member of Root. That it speaks volumes of his talent. Female Anbu responded. Whoever did this obviously didn't want him dead. In any event, we need to get him to the hospital. Agreed. The shinobi in front of Sai said as he picked him up. In an instant, the Anbu squad with Sai in tow was gone. Battlefield. The two shinobi were inching towards one another. It was only seconds before they reached one another, but to everyone, including them, it felt as if time had slowed down for them. Aisu was flooded with memories of his family, friends, and his wife. Aisu flashback. 5-year-old Aisu watched as his mother knelt down. You know the responsibility of being a big brother means that you have to look out for your brother and sister. I will, mother. I promise. His mother patted him on the head. I know you will. End of flashback. Naruto remembered how life was like for a 5-year-old Jinchuriki, being ostracized. However, he remembers one person treating him like he was human. Naruto's flashback. Sitting on the swing watching the other kids play, Naruto was envious and wanted to play with them so badly. Only one problem. The parents forbid their kids to play with them. Why me? Why doesn't anyone like me? What do you mean no one likes you? I wouldn't offer to treat you to ramen if I didn't like you, now would I? Gramps, you're really gonna do that for me? Naruto said with excitement in his voice. Come, Naruto. Let's go have ramen, and after that we'll go play ninja, the third Hokage said to the boy. For an old man, you're pretty cool, Gramps, Naruto said, causing Sarutobi to sigh. End of Naruto's flashback. Aisu's thoughts were all over the place, and they landed on a time when he first became a shinobi. Aisu's flashback. Today, you are a shinobi of the Cloud. Become the best shinobi you can be, and always protect the Cloud with everything you have. After the teacher gave his speech, Aisu was standing outside of the academy wearing his headband proudly. One step closer, mother and father. One step closer to making a difference. Tosuke placed a hand on Aisu's shoulder, causing the boy to look up at his mentor. This is the beginning of your dream, Aisu. I have no doubt that you are the future of Cloud. You will be a great shinobi. That much is certain. Aisu smiled and turned to look at the sky. One step closer. End of Aisu's flashback. For Naruto, the next memory that would enter his head would be one of him and Team 7, when they were on one of their missions after the Wave mission. Naruto's flashback. It was nighttime, and the group just completed a mission. Deciding to get some rest, the group stopped and decided to camp out in the forest. Building a fire, all was laying around the fire. Kakashi was reading his book, while Sakura was looking up at the stars, seeing a shooting star. Wow, there goes a shooting star. Sasuke, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto, make a wish. Sasuke turned on his side. I don't need to wish for what I want to occur. Fate has already sealed that man's fate the moment he left me alive. Sakura glanced at Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, did you make your wish? Did you say something, Sakura? A vein formed on her head. Never mind, how about you, Naruto? I bet it's to become Hokage, right? Naruto's answer surprised everyone. No, Sakura. I really don't need to make a wish. Mine's already come true. Really? But I thought Hokage was your dream, Sakura asked. It is, but I have other dreams too. What about yours, Sakura? Did you make your wish? Sakura blushed. Yes. Kakashi closed his book. Well, we have to get going early tomorrow, so we should all get some rest. Everyone said goodnight. Naruto's looking up at the stars. Good night, family. End of Naruto's flashback. A gap was slowly closing between the two shinobi. Aisu's thoughts went to his teammates, his lost comrades. Aisu's flashback. Aisu and his friends stood on top of a mountainside in lightning. The group was now 16 and Eugene was finally promoted to Jonin. Aoki, Aisu, and Eugene looked off into the horizon. I think the three of us will become great shinobi. Our trio will be more famous than the Sannin, Eugene stated. Greater than the Sannin. Sounds real good. What do you think, Aisu? I think if we strive for our best, there's nothing that can stop us. We are strong individually, but together, we're untouchable. You're right, bro. We are one untouchable family. Ice turned to Eugene and smiled. And of course, you're the goofy little brother who always finishes last. Hey, I'm older than you, and what do you mean by goofy? I'll have you know. Ice smiled. His mind completely zoned out as he looked at the sky. End of Ice's flashback. Naruto was inching closer and his thoughts shifted to the Minato clan. Naruto's flashback. It was a month before Naruto was about to leave and he was standing outside looking off into the night. Ryuho approached him. Why are you out here so late, Naruto? Just thinking, that's all. Just thinking about how a man took a kid in and taught him a sword technique that belongs to his clan. You know, Ryuho-sensei, I'm not good with thanking people, but I thank you for teaching me and treating me like a son. Naruto, these past 11 months have been interesting to say the least. I will say this though, I've gained a second child this past year. My teaching you felt as if I was passing on my legacy to an heir. My heir. You do know I'm proud of you, right, Naruto? Yeah. Naruto? Yes, sensei? You do realize that we can't tell anyone about this girly moment, right? Don't plan to, sensei, don't plan to. End of flashback. Aisu's next thought shifted to his wife. Aisu's flashback. Sitting outside of his house with his arms around his pregnant wife while looking at the starlit sky, Aisu was happy, overjoyed with the idea of being a father. More than anything, I had something to protect. I failed twice. I can't fail a third time. I love you, Hana. It caught the pregnant female off guard. Her surprise turned into a smile. I love you too. Are you okay? Couldn't be better, Hana. Couldn't be better. End of Aisu's flashback. Naruto's flashback. Sun Country. Naruto was standing outside thinking about his life and the direction it went in. 5 years ago, he was fighting to be Hokage, and now he was just another rogue shinobi. Yumi was a good girl, but Naruto really didn't know this is where he wanted to be. He loved Sun Country and he cared for Yumi a lot, but something was still missing. Leaving people behind just to seek that would make him just like Sasuke. Maybe that's why we fought often. The two of us aren't so different after all. Naruto felt Yumi's arms slide around his waist. Naruto, can I ask you a question? Sure, Yumi. Why are you so distant? You rarely open up. I mean, you told me about the Nine Tails, but there seems to be so much more that you're hiding. You don't have to hide anything from me, Naruto. We're lovers and friends, which should be reason enough for you to place your faith and trust in me and be completely open with me. Naruto, you're not alone. I will always stand by you. Whatever you can't face alone, we can face it together. Naruto couldn't say a thing. All of her words were true. Naruto knew that he could count on Kaori, Ryuho, Kaito, Jiraiya, and Hayami, but none of them ever told them that they would stand by him. Even though he knew they would, she was the first to say it. That meant a lot to Naruto. Here he was thinking about leaving to fill that emptiness he was feeling when someone was willing to help him search for that thing that would fill the void. He always thought that Sasuke made a mistake by leaving a place that offered him everything he could to achieve his goal. Naruto didn't have that luxury, and now that he was presented with the option, he decided he would allow Yumi to be by his side. You do realize my path may be a dangerous one, Yumi. I am a shinobi who is feared throughout the world. I don't want you to risk your life to follow. Yumi kissed Naruto, pulling away slowly. Naruto, I don't care about the dangers. Being together means I accept everything about you. Let's go in the house and get some sleep, okay? Sure. Oh, and Yumi? Yes? Nothing. The two went into the house. Naruto didn't know why, but for some reason, that whole talk put things into perspective. He didn't need to continue his search to fill the void. That discussion made him realize that it was already filled. He was where he wanted to be. He was home. End of Naruto's flashback. The two warriors drew closer together, preparing for the final strike. Cocking their swords back, preparing to strike one another. Their eyes met. Both shinobi with one thing on their minds at this point, and that was to win at all costs. This is it. Aisu swung his sword. Here we go. Naruto swung his sword. Black and white. Ebony and ivory. Both blades slowly inching towards each other. The moment felt like an eternity. In the eyes of the spectators, every moment was in slow motion. It's as if Father Time wanted everyone to see the final attack between two of the strongest warriors in the world, and the end of the battle that would go down as one of the most prolific fights in shinobi history. This was bigger than Sodai and Madara at the Valley of the End, much bigger than Naruto's and Sasuke's battle, and far above Aisu and Senju's second encounter. This battle would change the structure of the Shinobi world. In a stale silence, the two swords made contact with one another. Tsunade, Jiraiya, Naya, Senju, Safaya, Sakura, Neji, Lee, Tenten, Ino, Kiba, Shikamaru, Tamari, Gaara, Kankuro, Rin, Guy, Aoba, Kurenai, Asuma, Baki, Yugao, Konohamaru, Hanabi, the Genins, Hayami, and Yumi all covered their eyes as the light from the attack blinded them. Sasuke and Kakashi both used the Sharingan to watch closely. It didn't take long for the whole village and everything in a 100-mile radius to become cloaked by a bright white light that blinded all. Miles away from Konoha, Raito, who was jumping from branch to branch, looked in shock, landing on one of the branches and turning towards the direction of Konoha. He placed his hand over his eyes to shield him from the brightness of the light. "Father!" Koen, who was still injured, motioned for the group to stop. Aisu. Konoha. The light started to fade. Sasuke, who saw it all, smirked. What everyone now saw shocked them. Everyone was standing in a 20-foot crater throughout the stadium shaped like a hand. Inside the crater, both Naruto and Aisu were standing, on the opposite sides from where they attacked, with their backs to one another. Aisu, who was now back to his original form, with his shirt, was completely gone. The smudges of blood that decorated the side of his lip and his chest, along with the tattered pants that remained, revealed everything anyone needed to know about this battle. Closing his eyes and smirking. "Naruto Uzumaki, eh? I wish I could be here to see what your future holds. Bearer of the light, let's hope you can bring light to illuminate and guide the misguided, war-minded, driven fools in the world. I guess your will was stronger." Naruto turned his head slightly only to witness Aisu's body dissolving into golden light particles, before he completely faded away. "I leave you to finish my goal, Naruto Uzumaki. Don't fail the world." Before Aisu's head faded, Naruto said, "As long as there's breath in my body, I won't." The body continued to fade until there was nothing left but light particles. Aisu, the fifth bright Kage of the village hidden among the clouds, was no more. All that remained was the cloud headband and the clothes of the man that faded from existence. Naruto turned around to see everyone yards away. The only person who was close was Sasuke. Naruto slowly walked towards Sasuke. "Looks like it's finally over," Sasuke stated, nodding. "Yes, so it would seem. That final move was phenomenal." "What was it?" "It was God's hand." "Naruto!" Naruto looked up and Sasuke turned around. Seeing that the voice they heard coming from Konohamaru's, he was the one ahead of the group that was running towards the two. Konohamaru skidded to a stop. "Big brother Naruto, you did it! I knew you could do it, man, bro, you are fantastic!" "Well done, Naruto," Senju said to the young warrior. "Are you okay, Naruto?" Tsunade asked. "Granny, I'm perfectly fine." Sheathing a sword, Naruto's transformation slowly faded. His white hair returned to its original golden color, as did his eyes. "I feel perfectly." Naruto fell forward. Sasuke grabbed him before he hit the ground. Everyone who was crowded around him was worried about the boy. Chakra depletion in his wounds still need to be treated, Hinata informed. "I thought his wound was healed when he became the bearer of the light," Konohamaru stated. "I'm assuming that it doesn't work that way. If I had to guess, all injuries incurred before the transformation was placed in suspended animation, so to speak. Reverting back to his normal state would return him back to the state by which he was in before he transformed. This is only an assumption since I don't know how this technique in particular works. Shinji, can you elaborate since you are more qualified to give a summation than I am?" "Well, you're right about the suspended animation. However, even if this was not the case, the drawback of disengaging the technique is instant chakra depletion. Remember, it's bringing forth a person's potential unlike any other technique. You have to sacrifice chakra to perform it. This jutsu instantly depletes your chakra once the technique is disengaged. The price one must pay," Shinji informed the group. Knowing Naruto, he'll be up in no time. The Nine Tails' healing ability is a part of Naruto as well. "I give him about 3 to 5 days, Jiraiya said. Asuma pulled out a cigarette and placed it in his mouth. After lighting the cigarette, he took a long pull, and then let the smoke escape his mouth. "So it's finally over. It seems that this crater we're standing in is the shape of a hand. God's Hand. Everyone turned to Sasuke. This jutsu Naruto used is called God's Hand, which is why we're standing in a crater shaped like a hand. Neji, Hinata, Kakashi, and Hanabi, you saw what happened before the light blinded everyone, correct? All nodded. Sakura was curious. What'd you guys see that we didn't? The light was too blinding to see anything. Kakashi spoke. It was for a split second, before the light came over us. When Naruto brought his sword down in Aisu, cutting through Dragon's Fang and through Aisu, what looked like a spiritual hand formed over Naruto, looking as if it was guiding the sword. What Kakashi says is true, but it was only for a split second. I thought my eyes were deceiving me, but the hand appeared out of nowhere as soon as Naruto brought the sword down in Aisu. The hand obviously was the force behind the sword. Aisu never had a chance. A technique doesn't earn a name such as God's Hand for nothing. I don't think anyone has a technique that can deal with that. A sword forged by God's Hand says everything that needs to be said about the jutsu, Sasuke pointed out. Hinata knelt down next to Naruto. We should probably get him to a hospital. Tsunade nodded. Yeah, we should. A group of shinobi, including members of Anbu, landed around the group. The numbers started to pile on until there were about 240 shinobi from Konoha, Suna, Kusa, and Waterfall. A captain from one of the Anbu squad stepped forward. The enemy has retreated, Lady Okage. Is there anything that you request of us? Yes, I want you and your men to help the wounded around the village. Search the areas around the village for the bodies of our enemies and allies and have them taken to the morgue. Also, a messenger hawk will be dispatched to each village notifying them when they can pick up the bodies of their shinobi. Tsunade said to the captain. Lady Okage, we can. Captain, Tsunade said while cutting the captain off immediately. We are shinobi the Hidden Leaf, which means we are not animals. I know what you're thinking, Captain, but we will do no such thing. The bodies of these men and women should be sent back home for proper burials. Understood. The Leaf Captain and his squad, along with a few elite shinobi, left the scene on Tsunade's orders. One of the older Jonin saw Naruto's body and narrowed his eyes. I'm guessing we kill him. Raising his kunai up, he smirked. The Leaf Jonin felt a sharp pain across his stomach. Sasuke, who had Naruto over his right shoulder and the Kusanagi in his left hand, turned towards the injured shinobi. Is that any way to pay respect to the man who saved your life? Attacking a fellow comrade is a penalty. However, I want all of the Leaf Shinobi here who have issues with Naruto to understand one thing. If you attack him, I will not hesitate to kill any of you. Activating a Sharingan. Do I make myself clear? Those who were scared nodded. The female population was swooning over his coolness, and the younger male generation was thinking of Sasuke as a show-off. Sasuke, however, could care less. Without a warning, Sasuke and Naruto faded from view. Where the hell did they go? Kiba questioned. For people that hate each other, they always seem to defend one another, Kakashi pointed out. Ah, that doesn't answer my question, Kakashi. They went to the hospital, Kiba, Hinata pointed out. Sasuke wants to make sure Naruto gets to the hospital in one piece. Who better to do so than him, Sakura stated. If you ask me, he just wants to get him healed so we can fight him again and lose horribly, Shikamaru lazily stated. In any event, I'm going home. Someone wake me in the morning. The young Naruto walked off. Gaara looked at his troops. Aid the Leaf in their search for injured civilians and bodies. The group nodded and dispersed. Naya turned to where Saphaya was only to see that the girl was no longer there. Surprised a little, but she smiled. Seems like she left, Naya. Will you follow? No, she'll be back in a few days. I will leave with her then. So I guess that first novel you wrote can be applied to Naruto, eh, Sensei? Nai stated. You know it could, but I never could bring excitement to that hero. You and Minato thought it was excellent, but it was my first and only failure as an author. It didn't take well. That's why I sold the rights to another talented writer who has revised the book and spiced it up better than I could ever hope to do so. Really? Who'd you sell it to? Naya asked. Jiraiya looked at Yumi. That girl's writing talents far exceed my own. The story of Naruto Uzumaki is in more capable hands than when it was in my own. In any event, I got a few things I gotta take care of, so stay well, Naya. Jiraiya was gone in a puff of smoke. I wonder what the title of the story will be. Minato, your son has done more than you could hope. You and Kushina would be proud. That much is certain. It looks like it's this generation's turn to take over, with your son leading the way. The future is in good hands. With the likes of Naruto, Saphaya, Sasuke, Gaara, and Hinata around, the world is definitely in good hands. It's time I become a spectator and watch. Naya looked over at Hinata, who was holding Shinji up, and smiled. My legacy will live within you and Sophia. Tsunade, who was exhausted, walked up to her son. So, it's really over. I believe so. I guess now it's time to get our village in order. Well, I'm off to the hospital. Since you can move, help the squads that are recovering bodies. What do you want me to do, Lady Okage? Yugao asked. Well, I want you to go to the hospital. I want to make sure that my grandchild is okay. Tsunade smiled at the girl who returned the smile. Why can't I go to make sure she's okay? Sensor asked. Because I'm pissed with you for wanting to kill yourself, and 2, the village needs you. As a mother, you don't have to listen to what I say. But as a Hokage and your boss, you do. So get to it. Sensor mumbled under his breath before leaving the scene. Sakura placed a hand on Tsunade's shoulder. We should head to the hospital. Nodding, Tsunade and the group headed off to the hospital. At the hospital was chaotic to say the least. Shizune's white nurse outfit was drenched in blood. Nurses and the shinobi who were aiding them were running all over the place with injured shinobi. A medic ninja came up to Shizune. Lady Shizune, we have a patient in room 426 who is heavily injured. He has a hole through his chest. His situation is critical. Critical? Where are the other medics and why haven't they tended to him? Well, I don't know, but they absolutely refuse. Sasuke Uchiha dropped him off in order to get him and then left. Shizune didn't need to hear another word. She shot past a young female medic and headed to room 426. Upon her arrival, she saw a few older medic ninjas just glaring at Naruto without doing anything. She lost it. What the hell are you doing? His life is in jeopardy. We must treat him now. I won't treat that demon. Let him fucking die, one of the older male medics stated. Shizune didn't have time for these people's ignorance. She pushed him to the side and started to proceed with healing Naruto. Her hands started glowing green. However, it soon faded. Shit, I don't have enough chakra. I used all my chakra healing the wounded. I have to try just a little bit. Please, just help me. Tears started falling down Shizune's eyes. I know you all have your issues, but please, he is going to die if you don't help me. Shizune pleaded, but no one moved. Naruto, don't you quit on me. Come on, Naruto, don't you quit. You can't die. Just a little more, please, someone help me. Shizune was shocked to see a hand of the young female medic. I'm not as good as you, Shizune, but if I can lend a hand, I will help as much as possible. What are you doing, Lin? Do you even know who you're saving? Doesn't matter. We all swore to save lives regardless of who or what that person may be. All I know is that he was the banished shinobi who is fighting on our side in this war. He's injured and he needs help. I will help. You all should be ashamed of yourselves for not aiding the shinobi. Shizune smiled at Lin. Thank you. Shizune, his injury is severe. The only ones who can do anything besides yourself is Sakura, Lady Okage, and the elite units, which are in designated areas. I don't know what we can do, but I don't know if we can. He's not going to die. Everyone turned to see Tsunade and Sakura standing at the door. Shizune smiled widely. Lady Tsunade, what's going on here? Why are you two the only ones working on him? They refused, Lady Tsunade, Shizune stated. Tsunade was pissed before, but now she was beyond pissed. She turned to all the doctors in the room. I don't give a shit about your issues with Naruto Uzumaki. Without him, this village would have been reduced to rubble. Make no mistake, he is the only reason why Konoha is standing. So help me, or I will kill every last one of you if you do not try to save this village's savior. Tsunade's killer intent caused the medic ninjas to shake in fear. The medics gathered what courage they had to help Shizune tend to Naruto. 5 hours later, waiting room. Hayami, Mai, Yumi, Sasame, Yokana, and the rest of the group, with the exception of Shikamaru, were waiting to hear what happened to Naruto. A battle-tested looking Tsunade came out of the room and approached the group. Naruto. He's in stable condition. He'll be out for a few days, but he should be okay when he wakes up. When can we see him? Yumi asked. Well, you guys can go see him one at a time. Sakura will escort you individually. A member of Anbu appeared in front of Tsunade when she finished her statement. Lady Okage, your presence has been requested by Lady Koharu. She is in room 143A. She and a few other members of the council stressed that you come immediately. It's of great importance. Tsunade wondered what the fuck was going on now. She nodded. I'll be there shortly. Lady Tsunade, you are injured. You should be treated first, Shizune said out of concern for her teacher. I'm okay, Shizune. I have to see what's going on. My injuries are minor compared to everyone else, Tsunade stated. Shizune knew that she wasn't going to get Tsunade to stay, so she decided to help others who were injured. 5 minutes later, Tsunade entered the room only to find Koharu, Homura, and the rest of the council at Sai's bedside. Sitting up in the bed, Tsunade wondered what caused everyone to congregate into this room. What's going on here? It seems that Danzo has betrayed the leaf, Shibi informed Tsunade. Looking at the battle-tested Shinobi, she could see that Koharu's and Homura's clothing weren't tattered at all. She knew they weren't cowards. The fact was that regular Shinobi didn't measure up to their ability. She placed her hand on her forehead. Shit, this gets better and better. Danzo going to another village would definitely put us in jeopardy. He didn't go to another village, Lady Okage, Shikaku stated grimly. It seems that the Akatsuki organization is still at large, Koharu stated. And if what Sai tells us is true, then we are in more danger than we are equipped to handle, Homura stated. What do you mean? Sai, explain. Tsunade questioned. Danzo refrained from killing me to inform everyone that the Akatsuki was still alive and kicking. Also, he mentioned that his master, Madara Uchiha, was the driving force behind the organization. Homura jumped in. Madara Uchiha being alive seems impossible. However, it can very well be true. If he is indeed alive, then Konoha is probably in the most danger out of all the villages. This is the man who co-founded the Hidden Leaf along with your grandfather, Tsunade. I've met the man, and his powers always terrified me. His Sharingan was on a different level. That's because Madara Uchiha had the Mangekyo Sharingan. Everyone turned to see Kakashi. Kakashi, what are you doing here? This is a meeting between council members. You have no right to be here, Inoichi stated. I'm sure I don't, but remember what the Akatsuki was after. We have 2 incapacitated, 1 injured, another heading back to Mist alone, and another heading towards Cloud. 5 out of 9, probably within a 150-mile radius of one another, which is definitely not good. I wouldn't worry too much. The Akatsuki can't go through on their plans. Everyone turned to see Jiraiya sitting on a frog outside the window. What do you mean, Jiraiya? Tsunade questioned. I mean that due to the recent growth of Naruto, Koen, Safai, and Awasato, the Akatsuki have to approach their goal of collecting the Jinchuriki differently. Each Jinchuriki can now hold their own with any of the members since they are able to control their demon. Also, Itachi Uchiha destroyed the great statue that was used to contain the Jinchuriki, thus freeing the 4 that was captured. Why would Itachi do such a thing? Kakashi questioned. It's true that Itachi did murder the Uchiha clan. However, he did so because of the Uchiha clan's dark secret of a coup. My guess is Itachi did what he did because he too wanted Madara's power and to stop his clan's goal to take over the leaf. The Uchiha clan was honorable, but I guess he saw that they were lost in their ways and the only way to keep their honor was to commit a massacre. That would not have them fall from grace. Looking at it, the clan way of thinking was similar to Madara. After years of research and following Orochimaru, I discovered that Orochimaru's reason for wanting power in all of his experiments was to stand on top as the ultimate power. However, he could not do so because his power paled in comparison to Madara Uchiha and Itachi Uchiha. This led Orochimaru to seek out the Uchiha clan to obtain that power. He tried for Itachi but lost his left hand to Itachi. My guess is Madara took Itachi under his wing, seeing him as a threat and convinced him to murder the Uchiha clan, with his aid of course. I think this was done for 2 reasons. 1, so no Uchiha would come and rise above Madara, and 2, to stop Orochimaru's plan. Make no mistake, if Orochimaru got a hold of the Sharingan, he would have been a threat to Itachi and Madara. His body switch technique was ingenious. I guess he was praised as being the genius of the Sannin for a reason. Orochimaru was definitely gifted, and he saw his opportunity in Sasuke, Kakashi pointed out. Yes, but Sasuke grew beyond his control. He found himself on the bitter end of that fight, which brings me to my next topic, Jiraiya stated. Sasuke Uchiha is more than likely in danger, Homura stated. The boy has the Mangekyo, and he defeated Itachi. I would say he's definitely in the Akatsuki's list. He has the potential to surpass Madara. I saw the boy warp into Naruto's mind to tame the fox, controlling the Nine Tails. Only Madara Uchiha had that ability, and for him to even be able to enter his mind is a feat in itself. Sasuke's power is growing at a rate that is not good with the Akatsuki. So what of Naruto Uzumaki? What is to become of him? Koharu asked. He just saved the village. We're not placing him in chains, Koharu, Tsunade said, slightly angry at what she was trying to insinuate. Jiraiya smiled. The Akatsuki will not come after Naruto. 1, they still have to get things in order for themselves, and 2, I'm still here. I don't like to brag, but I'm a pretty strong shinobi. In any event, You'll never know when they're going to strike, but if they were going to strike, they would have already done so. Sai interrupted the group. They're not going to attack. I didn't pass out right away, so I remember hearing Danzo saying that no one will survive when they come. I don't know who and what he meant by that, but I'm guessing whatever it is, it's gonna be a while. Whatever the Akatsuki is planning, it's going to be on a wide scale. It'll not only affect Konoha, but the world at large. Right now we should focus on getting everyone healthy and worry about this later. Sai, you rest up. Tsunade smiled at the boy. The rest of you, we're leaving, and we'll have a council meeting about this sometime next week when we have a memorial for our soldiers. Tsunade left the group. Kakashi followed suit along with the rest of the council members. Tsunade and Kakashi headed back towards where Shizune and the others were located, speaking in a low tone so that only Kakashi could hear. This is not good. You do realize it. We're completely exposed. Not just us, though. I think every village is exposed. I don't suspect anything will happen, but we definitely will have to keep an eye out. Understood. I'll go aid the others. We definitely have a lot of work of us. I would say that 40% of Konoha was damaged by this attack. It must be higher. In any event, we have to keep a lookout. Kakashi, spread the word. I want all mobile shinobi helping at either the hospital or searching for bodies. You have your orders. Get on it. Tsunade looked up at the sky. Now, the aftermath. I wonder what will happen next. Somewhere unknown, in a dark cave, cloaked members with red clouds adorning their robes gathered together in a circle. It was evident that astral projection was being used, no matter what was in the cave. The member with the ring eyes addressed the group of 9. It seems that Naruto Uzumaki has defeated Aisu. A feat, to say the least. Aisu would have caused us problems. It seems we now have to worry about Naruto Uzumaki. Can I offer him to Lord Jashin? No, Hidan. We will do no such thing. The time will come. You and Kakuzu will lay low. I'm certain word has spread that our organization is still in existence. Pain, you fucking coward. Hidan's words caused Konan to glare at him. Kakuzu sighed. You're an idiot, but Naruto isn't the only Jinchuriki we must worry about. We also have to deal with Safaya and Koen. Let's not forget Gara of the Sand and Osato. Sasuke Uchiha. Everyone turned to Danzo. Why do we need to worry about a weak Uchiha? Hidan said smugly. You would do well to mind your tongue, Hidan. Besides, Sasuke Uchiha has the Mangekyo Sharingan. His eyes are stronger than that of Itachi, and he has advanced his curse seal to level 3. He is anything but weak. He is another person to keep a lookout on, Danzo stated. It is of no consequence. We will proceed with the plan and wait. By the way, Danzo, what is Kumoko's status? Stable. Surprisingly, she survived a grave injury. That Sakura Haruno is another thorn. She will definitely surpass Tsunade. You all lack vision. Everyone's eyes widened at the voice they heard in the cave. The silhouette of a man was the only thing visible besides the piercing red Sharingan. With the black Akatsuki cloak on, the figure continued to the center of the room. Danzo kneeled. Master, what brings you to a meeting? The last time you appeared before us is when Itachi Uchiha was inducted as a senior member. That is true. I'm here to make sure that we are on course with our plan. Itachi threw a wrench in our plans when he destroyed the demon god statue. But it is of no consequence. It can be rebuilt. As for Naruto Uzumaki, we will deal with him when the time comes. Sasuke too. What about Safaya and Koen? An unknown member asked. All will be addressed when the time comes. Our time will come. The Akatsuki will stand above all, Madara stated. So, are we assigned to a Jinchuriki like last time? An unknown member asked. Yes. Who gets the Nine Tails? Hidan asked. I will leave that up to Pain. He will be directing all of your actions. As for Komoko, make sure she fully recovers. What can that bitch do for our organization? She's fucking weak, Hidan stated. Considering her opponents, one who happens to be of my lineage, the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, and Tsunade's successor, it's no wonder why she would appear weak. Danzo, I'm leaving her in your care. You are to make her stronger. Sharingan eyes gazed at Danzo. Yes, master. I will make sure that she's on the level. But she has a vendetta against Naruto Uzumaki. Who's to say she won't go after him right away? Then it's simple. Crush her and show her how weak she really is. Once that is done, it should be easy to show her where she needs to be in order to take on Naruto. In any event, we will be in contact. You are all dismissed. The astral projections faded, leaving Madara to himself. My power. The power of Madara Uchiha. Soon. Real soon. 1 week later. Konoha. The Hidden Leaf village was back to some sense of normalcy. During the week, villagers were fixing the damage throughout the village. Patients were being tended to. The bodies of the shinobi, both foreign and domestic, were gathered. Today was different. Every shinobi and civilian was gathered at the base of the Okage Tower. Today was a little different from other days. Today was a day that people would pay their respects to the shinobi that sacrificed their life in the war. Tsunade was sitting in her office using her arm to support her head. Today was the day that homage would be paid for all of the fallen soldiers. This meant that a big funeral service would be done in the middle of the town. She would also acknowledge those who helped win the war. She wondered how people would take it when she informed that Naruto saved them from Aisu. Shizune entered her office. Lady Tsunade, it's time. I'll be there. Give me 5 minutes, Shizune, she informed the girl who exited. Tsunade stood up. Okay, here I go. The Okage continued to walk forward. Hospital. Naruto slowly opened his eyes. He heard Hayami yell out to his sleeping Yumi. Big sister Yumi, big brother Naruto's waking up. Naruto's eyes slowly shifted to a smiling Hayami. They then shifted to Yumi, who was now up and watching him closely. The next people he would see as he scanned the room was Mai, Naya, Hinata, Shinji, Yokana, Sasuke, Shikamaru, Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro. Big brother Naruto, Hayami yelled out. Hey, Yami, Naruto said with a weak voice. How are you feeling, Naruto? Yumi asked out of deep concern. Naruto struggled to sit up. A little weak, but I should be okay. Could someone get me some water? Temari, who was standing by the table with the water pitcher and cups, poured Naruto a glass and handed it to him. After drinking a cup, he exhaled. Much better. Naruto, you were amazing in that fight. You woke up just in time too. Tsunade's about to address the crowd. Hayami, open up the window. Hayami nodded and did as Kankuro asked. Naruto, who was scanning the room, noticed a bunch of flowers, balloons, and cards in his room. Who is all this from? He asked. Well, Naruto, the Princess of Snow Country had a few balloons delivered. Taza and his family actually stopped by to visit and see how you were doing. Jiraiya actually left you a copy of his new volume. Members from Sasuke's clan and Yokana's father, Iruka, and a few other people. Ayame informed Naruto. Shikamaru yawned and addressed Naruto. Sounds like Tsunade is about to start. Naruto turned his head to look out the window. He could see the Okage Tower and Tsunade standing on the roof of the balcony. Next to her were Koharu and Hamura. He waited to hear what she was going to say. Okage Tower. Tsunade looked at the citizens beneath her. First, I want to start off by paying respect to all the shinobi that were lost in this battle. It is because of their sacrifice that Konoha is still here. Their sacrifice will not be in vain. I only wish that this war never occurred, but we are shinobi, and it is the risk we must face. To all the families, friends, and lovers that lost someone special, my heart goes out to you. If you would all put your head down so we can have a moment of silence for all the shinobi who gave their life for the village. Everyone put their heads down and the streets became very quiet. Tsunade lifted her head after a few moments. Konoha, our home. We owe its survival to the shinobi that died to protect it, foreign and domestic. We are not the only village who has valued shinobi. Our allies have lost a lot as well. My heart goes out to our allies who have lost just as much as we did in this war. Even though we lost valued members of our village, Konoha remains strong and it is our strength. The will of fire that will ensure we wouldn't fall. The crowd erupted in a cheer. Tsunade continued. We gave it our all to ensure that the generations to come would have a home. There are a few shinobi that I would like to thank personally. Every shinobi contributed. However, the following shinobi turned the tide in our favor. Lord Kazekage, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for sticking by us. Without the aid of your village, I don't know what predicament Konoha would be in. I would like to thank all the grass shinobi and waterfall village shinobi as well. Another reason why Konoha didn't fall. The Anbu, Jonins, Chudins, and Genin and the like. Thank you all. A crowd of shinobi erupted. Konohamaru, who was standing next to Hanabi, smiled and watched Makinu jump around. Tsunade continued. The medical squad responsible for healing our shinobi, Sakura and Shizune. I don't know what would have happened without you two to provide guidance and leadership. Sakura and Shizune, who were standing next to one another in the crowd, smiled. Sasuke Uchiha, I don't know where you are, but for evacuating the citizens from the stadium, I want to thank you for that. You are a valued asset to the village and a damn fine shinobi. Tsunade's statement of Sasuke caused the crowd to chant, Lord 6th, Lord 6th, Lord 6th. Tsunade saved this one for last because it would definitely throw everyone off for a loop. Quiet down. I would like to thank one more person. This person embodies what it is to be a shinobi, and has taught me a lot during the years. 4th Hokage, your son has grown to be a fine shinobi, and it is because of him that Konoha, and all villages threatened by Aisu will live to see another day. His strength and skill throughout the battle is the reason why everyone is here today. Make no mistake, without his aid we all would have perished. Everyone started to whisper about the 4th Hokage having a son. A lot of the younger and older citizens had no clue, but those who did smiled. Well, at least most did. Tsunade, who closed her eyes and cracked a smile, lifted her head and said, "Naruto Uzumaki, you are the greatest shinobi I've ever met, period. You saved this village for a second time from utter destruction. You are and will forever be the greatest hero Konoha has ever known. Thank you, Naruto, for everything." Back at the hospital, Naruto smiled. Everyone in the room smiled as well. However, the silence was broken by the crowd who went ballistic. Naruto could hear the chant of the demon Ninetales and other things of the sort. He put his head down. Shikamaru shook his head in shame. Hinata put her head down. And a bandaged Shinji narrowed his eyes. He saved their asses, and this is the thanks he gets? It's okay, Shinji. I was paid to do a service, and my job is done. Hayami placed a hand on Naruto's hand. Big brother Naruto, you will always be my hero. Naruto looked at the girl and smiled. Thank you, Yami. The group in the room heard a loud scream coming from the tower. Shut up! The crowd was silent, but the voice everyone heard wasn't Tsunade's. It was Konohamaru's. Hokage Tower. Konohamaru was standing on the metal rails in front of Tsunade and he was furious. You bastards! Big brother Naruto saves your asses and this is the thanks he gets. Sasuke Uchiha didn't fight against the powerful Raikage and win. Naruto did. Not even Lady Tsunade. Our Hokage wasn't able to defeat the Raikage. Naruto defended us all and we show our thanks by calling him a demon? He has the Ninetales in him. Okay, so what? His own father put the demon in him to save the village. Do any of you know what it's like to walk around with a demon inside of you? No, you don't. None of us do. My grandfather defended this village and he told me it's because he loves the people in this village. I asked why and he said, Konoha's citizens are the most understanding, caring, and helpful citizens in all of the world. For a long time I believed him, but now I know that's a lie. Everyone was shocked by Konohamaru and what he was saying, but he wasn't finished. I'm ashamed to be a member of this village for the first time in my life. Did any of you ever sit down and talk with him? Maybe invite him over to get to know him a little bit more? No, you just judge. It's easy to take out your anger and pain out on the demon child for what the QB did, isn't it? Fucking cowards. If the 4th knew what was going to occur, I'm sure he would have never sacrificed his only son so your lives could be spared. Look into your hearts and ask, is it Naruto you hate, or is it the Ninetales? I can tell you one thing, the two are not one being. They are completely different. Citizens of Konoha, you are a disgrace to everything Konoha stands for. I'm done, I can't even look at any of you anymore. Konohamaru flipped off the rail and landed on the ground below. As he glanced around, every shinobi that met his eyes put their heads down in shame. Konohamaru just shook his head. Disgraceful. As he walked, the crowd made a path for him. Hanabi went to run after him but was stopped by Udon, who placed a hand on her shoulder and shook his head. Tsunade from the top of her balcony smiled. Well done, Konohamaru. The 6th Hokage indeed. Tsunade continued. Well, Konohamaru's outburst was a bit unprofessional, but it did drive home the message. I just want you all to know that I have selected my candidate for the 6th Hokage, which overrides the council's selection. I know all of you wanted Sasuke Uchiha, but the fact of the matter is he turned down the position a week ago. Even if he didn't, he would not have been the next Hokage. I found my successor, and he will do well in the position when I step down. I want to thank you all for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tsunade walked towards the exit. The crowd remained after a while. Makanu was the bold one to start chanting, Naruto, Naruto, Naruto. The chant started to slowly spread until it became louder and louder. Tsunade stopped when she heard the chants. Her initial shock caused her eyes to widen. After the shock, a smile formed on her face. At the hospital, Shikamaru looked at Naruto. Seems it took you 2 times instead of 3. You know, saving their lives and all. Imi spoke. Well, Naruto, looks like Konohamaru's speech got through to them. Even if it didn't. You will always be my hero. Hayami tapped Naruto's leg. Big brother, when do we go home? Naruto looked at Shinji. I'm sure my aunt and uncle wouldn't mind either way. Besides, I don't have time for kids. Naruto smiled. So, you're pawning her off to me. Thanks a lot, Shinji. Big brother Naruto, you don't want me to live with you? That's not it, Hayami. I was just joking with Shinji. But to answer your question, I should be fine tomorrow, but we probably won't leave Konoha for another 2 days, Naruto explained to the little girl. So, what happened after I blacked out? Naruto asked. Hayami jumped on the bed and started going into an animated explanation. Big brother Naruto, when you passed out, we were instantly surrounded by shinobi in weird-looking masks and a bunch of shinobi. One of them tried to attack you and Sasuke cut him with a sword. He held you in his arms and told everyone that if they messed with you, they would have to go through him. Next thing you know, he disappeared with you in his arms. Gaara jumped in. Sasuke brought you here, Naruto. No one has seen Sasuke for the past week though, so we don't know what he's up to. Sasuke, eh? Naruto smiled again. Yukana spoke. Naruto, I'll be heading back today, but Sasuke will remain and will escort you back. I'll see you when you get home. Later, Naruto. Take care, everyone. Later, Yukana. Tamari, I never did thank you. Shut up, idiot. You don't have to thank me for protecting Hayami. Even if Gaara didn't give me the order, I probably would have done it. Kankuro whispered. Of course, any excuse to see your boyfriend. Kankuro felt Tamari's fan hit his head. Shut up, idiot. Naruto smiled at the brother and sister. Shikamaru addressed Naruto. Well, I have a few things that I need to deal with, so Naruto, take it easy. You know me, Shikamaru. Exactly what I said. Shikamaru left the group. Tamari tapped Gaara. I need to talk to you before you leave today. I'm actually leaving in another hour, so whatever you wish to talk to me about, please let's do it now. Gaara looked at his sister. I would like to tell you in private. Your hotel room? Tamari asked. Let's go. I have to pack anyway. Turning to Naruto. I'm sure I'll see you in a few weeks. Take care. Kankuro tapped Naruto's leg. Yeah bro, take it easy and get the hell out of here soon. Thanks guys. Later. Naruto waved as Gaara left. Hinata turned to Shinji. Maybe we should go. My, Hayami, we're going to get something to eat. You wanna come? Mai nodded. Sure. I want to stay with Big Brother Naruto, Hayami informed Hinata. Naruto knew what Hinata was trying to do. Hayami, can you go with Hinata? I want ramen and I want you to order my favorite. Can you do that? Sure, big brother. I'll bring you back 2 bowls of miso ramen, Hayami said with energy in her voice. Shinji turned towards the door. Let's go. Naruto will be back later. Naruto watched as everyone left. When Hinata closed the door behind her, Yumi embraced Naruto. I've missed you so much. How are you really feeling, Naruto? I'm still feeling a little pain in my chest. Yumi. I'm sorry for leaving, but I had to do this if I hadn't. Shut up. I understand, Naruto. I just missed you. Naruto, don't ever scare me like that again. When you died or was in limbo or whatever, I thought I was going to lose you. Yumi, you're not gonna lose me. Death couldn't keep me away from you. What makes you think anything can? Naruto kissed Yumi on the lips. Pulling away, he looked into her eyes. It's gonna take more than death to keep me away. Naruto, I love you. She embraced him in a tight hug. I love you too, Yumi. So, how's that book you've been writing but won't let me read coming along? Naruto asked as he slightly pushed her forward. It's actually going real well. The ending couldn't have been more perfect. Naruto smiled. Fantastic. When do I get to read it? Soon, but when it's finished, okay? You'll be the first person to read it. I can't wait to get out of here. I want to go home, Naruto said to Yumi. Me too. I can't wait to go back home. Naruto leaned back on his bed. So, could you tell me what's happened during my 7th-month absence? Naruto listened as Yumi started to explain all what happened while thinking to himself. It's finally over. K.A., thanks for showing me the way. Now Yumi, Hayami, Mai, Shinji, and Rin can leave Konoha. Valley of the End. A Madara statue. Sasuke Uchiha looked up towards the sun. Madara, I know you're out there, and the Akatsuki lives on with you. Itachi showed that much in his vision. I'm an Avenger, and I swore to bring all responsible for the Uchiha clan massacre to justice. I will definitely kill you, Sasuke shouted. Madara Uchiha, I will definitely kill you. What are you waiting for? Why not now? Sasuke's eyes widened when he heard the voice behind him. Slowly turning, Sasuke was face to face with a figure in a black hooded cloak. He could see the Sharingan glowing from under the hood. You swore to kill me. I'm right here. Well, what are you gonna do, Sasuke? Madara said in a taunting voice. I know why. You can't kill me. Don't worry, Sasuke. I'm not here for you. I'm here to let you know that I'm going to obliterate Konoha, Cloud, Suna, Mist, Rock, and all the shinobi villages. Not you nor the Nine-Tails brat can stop the inevitable. Your Hokage, little Tsunade, is aware of what's going on. Sasuke was doing everything he could from attacking Madara. I know what you're planning. You won't succeed. Itachi threw a wrench in your plans, and besides, the Akatsuki fell once. This time, I will cut out the root, and it will fall permanently. We shall see, Sasuke. When the time comes, you know where to find me. When you gain my power, I will be waiting for you. I know Itachi informed you about everything. I wonder how's your vision these days. You're a smart kid. You still have your brother's eyes, don't you? Your silence has provided me with my answer. In any event, you have 7 years. Inform Tsunade that you all have 7 years. Running away, are we? Doesn't sound like something the legendary Madara Uchiha who conquered clans would do. Also, why warn us? 7 years is more than enough time to surpass you. Madara stopped and turned to Sasuke. I'm not running from you, Sasuke. Our time will come, and when it does, I will not hold back on you or your friend Naruto. I'm warning you because I want everyone to be prepared for what's to come. No matter how much you prepare, nothing will save you. Make no mistake about it. I will be the one to kill you both. Sasuke lost it. Do it now, you bastard. Shooting a Chidori at Madara. It pierced his cloak, but Madara was gone. Sasuke narrowed his eyes and gritted his teeth. Shit, he got away. First Aisu, now this. 7 years. Why 7 years? Is that how long it takes to build the statue? This is not going to turn out well. Sasuke turned back to the direction of Konoha. Naruto. Looks like we got another battle in our hands. 5 days later, Konoha. 3 days had passed and Naruto was out of the hospital. He was informed about the Akatsuki from Tsunade. Naruto knew he would have to be prepared, but right now he would take it easy. Or as easy as Naruto Uzumaki could take it. Back at the hotel, Naruto found himself packing his bags. He was ready to leave and head back to Sun Country with a few additions. Naruto, who was being helped by Hayami, turned to the girl. Are you all packed up, Hayami? Yeah, big brother, all done. I'm going to help big brother Yumi and Mai. The little girl went to help the others. Naruto watched as she left. Yumi and Tsunade both had informed him of her outburst when he died. Ryuho-sensei, if what they say is true, then your daughter is the true heir to the Minato clan. I can't believe she was able to cut Aisu. Truly amazing. Since everyone was staying with Sasuke, it was weird to be in the Uchiha compound. Naruto had yet to see Sasuke since being on the battlefield. He supposed he wouldn't get to see him before he left. In any event, Naruto was all done packing. Throwing his bags over his shoulder, he walked into the room that Yumi was in with Mai and Hayami. You girls ready? Everyone nodded. Yes, let's go home, Yumi said with a smile. Hokage Monument. Kakashi and Rin were sitting on the head of the 4th Hokage. It seems like the world is changing, Rin. That it is, Kakashi. It could also be that we're getting old now. You could be right, but now, it's Naruto's generation's turn to lead. You're going back with him, aren't you? Kakashi's tone was the saddest Rin has ever heard it. Yes, but I'm certain we'll be seeing a lot of each other. You know, Kakashi, it wouldn't hurt you to visit me every now and then. I'll definitely visit you, Rin. Looking into his eyes, Rin pulled up his headband and stroked the side of his Sharingan with her thumb. Moving her hands down slowly, she pulled down his mask and leaned in for a kiss. The two shinobi's lips were locked in a sensual but gentle moment of passion. Rin pulled away. I have to go. You know where to find me, Kakashi. Swinging out of view, Kakashi looked up to the sky, pulling his mask back up, and the Jonin laid back on the stone, thinking of nothing but Rin and of happiness. He lost her once. He wouldn't lose her again. Konoha Street. Naruto was walking down the street with Hayami, Mai, and Yumi. While walking, he noticed that shinobi and citizens were all lined up along the sidewalk. He could see in their eyes as he continued to walk. Respect, sympathy, regret, and joy. Naruto nodded to each one of them as he passed. He had finally earned the respect that he wanted, or at least wanted at one time. Naruto turned to Hayami. Where's Shinji? Isn't he coming with us? Big brother Shinji and big sister Hinata are going back to Sea Country together. He plans to rebuild our home and start the Minato clan again. Hayami informed Naruto. Yumi jumped in. Shinji will probably be back and forth between both countries, you know, checking in on Hayami and whatnot, but for the most part, he and Hinata decided to go back to sea together. Shinji and Hinata. How long have I slept? Yumi slapped her forehead. Are you serious? You mean to tell me that you didn't know? For a guy who has perfect vision, you're pretty blind. Naruto just placed his hand behind his head and scratched the back of his head. Naruto and the others got to the gates and saw Tsunade, Sakura, and the rest of his graduating class. along with Team Guy, Asuma, Kurenai, Senju, and the others waiting for him. Tsunade stepped forward. I guess this is it, eh? Yeah, Granny, you take care of yourselves. Besides, I'm tired of saving your ass. Naruto! Her elevated voice caused him to freeze up, but her smile relaxed him. Take care of yourself, okay? By the way, Tsunade took off her necklace and gave it to Naruto. You are the rightful owner, and this is definitely yours. Granny, I don't want to hear it. I gave it to you and it's yours. Take it. Naruto just nodded. Okay, Granny. Iruka stepped up. Naruto, continue to write and don't be a stranger. I will, Iruka-sensei. You just continue to teach these young kids what it is to be a shinobi. Naruto is approached by Konohamaru. Bro. Naruto put his hand out for Konohamaru to give him a 5. Once Konohamaru placed his hand in Naruto's open hand, Naruto pulled him in for a hug. Konohamaru, you're gonna make a great Hokage someday. Continue to grow strong and don't let anything stand in your way. I can't lead Konoha, but knowing that there's someone like you leading gives this village hope for the better future. Konohamaru and Naruto broke the embrace and the young Sarutobi smiled. Thanks, bro. I'll definitely make you proud. Don't make me proud. Make the village proud. I will, big brother Naruto. I definitely will. Naruto was looking around to see where Rin was at. I wonder where Rin is, and I don't see Sasuke. I'm right here, Naruto. Are you ready to go? Naruto turned to Rin and nodded. Sure, let's go. Wait! Everyone turned around to see Temari and Shikamaru. Shikamaru, what's up? Naruto said to his friends. Well, Naruto, Temari and I have been thinking if we're going to live together, but we can't do it in Konoha. That would mean she would have to leave her life in Tsuna to be with me, Shikamaru stated. And if Shikamaru left Konoha, he would give up being a shinobi in Konoha to come to Tsuna. So we've decided to start a new life by forfeiting our positions as shinobi of our village and start a life in Sun Country. I hear it's a beautiful place to start anew. What do you think? Naruto smiled. So I guess you talked to Gaara, eh, Temari? He recommended it. In any event, we're leaving with you, Naruto. Ino looked at Shikamaru. Are you really going to leave us? Ino, you and Shoji are my best friends. That will never change. My life here in the Leaf is done. It's only fitting, I guess, to end my run as a Leaf Shinobi on a high note. Shikamaru smiled at the girl. Shoji walked up to Shikamaru. Take care of yourself, Shikamaru, and let me know where you're staying at so I can visit every now and then. You can drop in whenever you want, Shoji. I wouldn't have it any other way. Naruto smiled and everyone smiled at the friendship between the two shinobi. Well, I think it's time we go home. Come on, everyone, we're off. Sakura, you take care of that asshole. I will, Naruto. You take care of yourself too. I don't know how you feel toward the whole situation and how things went down over the years, but I want you to know that Team 7 will always be in my heart. And since you were a major part of Team 7, you will definitely hold a place there. Team 7, the greatest team ever formed, period. Naruto smirked. Team 7, we were pretty fucking awesome, weren't we? That's because I was carrying your sorry asses. Naruto smirked when he heard Sasuke. Turning around, he could see the Uchiha dressed in a similar outfit to the one he wore throughout his years in the Sound, but all black standing on top of the village entrance. Big talk for a scary cat. Naruto saw Sasuke place a hand on his sword. Huh. Well, seems like we see things differently. Tonkichi? Sasuke saw Naruto reach for the sword Ryuho had given him. That's nothing new, little Sasuke. Naruto looked up at Sasuke, who was now smirking all the while. Senju, who was standing near his mother, was about to step in when Kakashi appeared behind him and placed a hand on his shoulder. Don't. This is between them two. I've learned you can't stop the inevitable. Senju looked at Kakashi, then back at the two. Naruto's eyes shifted to the right, raising his sword behind him. He blocked Sasuke's attack. Fading from view, Sasuke ducked, as a slash came from his right and was aimed for his head. Spinning his sword in his hand, he thrust forth toward Naruto's stomach once he got a grip. He pierced Naruto's stomach. Everyone's eyes went wide, but when the shadow clone disappeared, they were relieved. Appearing behind Sasuke with uncanny speed, Naruto sliced the Uchiha in half. Again, everyone couldn't believe what they were seeing until a bunch of snakes ended up dead. Naruto smiled. Seems like you've gone faster since last time. You're not even using your Sharingan. Likewise, well, I'm gonna let you off the hook now, you bastard. But know that our fight isn't over. We still have a score to settle. Don't worry, Sasuke. We will definitely see who's stronger. But you do realize I'm bearer of the light. Before the Uchihas, the greatest genius comes off barely as average. You being the bearer means nothing. In any event, don't die anytime soon. Not before we can fight again. Just try to stay alive until that time, little Sasuke. Both warriors smirked at one another. In a burst of leaves, Sasuke left the group. Show off, was all that Naruto said, turning to everyone. You all take care. Oh, and Granny, you have my banking information. I expect to have my money wired to my account in the next 2 weeks. Tsunade completely forgotten about the money. Hey Naruto, you don't really want. As he was walking with Hayami, Sasame, Shikamaru, Tamari, Mai, and Yumi, Naruto yelled out, "A deal is a deal. 2 weeks. Tsunade slumped his shoulders. Damn, I was going to put some of that into our relief fund. Damn you, Naruto. Well, we should get going. We have a village to repair." Senju's words snapped everyone out of their funk. The group left to tend to the village. Naruto Uzumaki, on the other hand, was walking down the dirty path that led to Konoha with a smile on his face. His past, his present, his future, all lay on this road. He didn't know what was in store for the future, but whatever it was, he would face it head on because he never went back on his word. That is his way of the shinobi, the way of Naruto Uzumaki, the man known to all as the Golden Fox.